Guys, we have just reached 300 subscribers. That is an amazing feat for me. To some other YouTubers, they are breadcrumbs, but to me, that's a huge number and I never thought I would get it. Because my channel is building up really slowly, but I have some amazing fans. Even though there are very few of you, I love you all. Thank you very much for subscribing, thank you for supporting me, for commenting, for liking, for making also some constructive criticism. I thank you all, and I'm really excited to go onward with my movie reviews, my game reviews, my gameplays, my walkthroughs, my trailer reactions, and a whole lot of things. And I wanted to thank every single one of you. And to celebrate, today we're gonna talk about my 5 favorite video game franchises. These are some of my favorite franchises that I love playing again and again and again. And I like basically every single game in those. So here we go. Here are my top 5 favorite video game franchises. At number 5 we have Tomb Raider. The reason why this franchise is on the list is mainly because it was my first video game franchise. As a little kid I used to play this with my mom and dad on the computer, and we played the second one, we played the third one, we played the fourth one, which is really underrated, set in the pyramids. You also have Chronicles, which is also really good, going around different places in the world, and I loved playing on my PSP Tomb Raider Legend, as well as Tomb Raider Underworld on PC. Now we have a new Tomb Raider coming out soon, which I'm kind of excited for, but I really enjoyed the 2013 reboot. And it's a very good franchise. I love the adventure of it all. I like going around the different places of the world in a very Indiana Jones style, fighting animals mostly, but also some ancient creatures, fighting the paranormal. It's a great franchise, really underrated in my opinion. Not many people actually love it, but to me it's part of my story, it's part of my life, and I had to mention it at least. At number 4 we have Grand Theft Auto. I played the first GTA when I was way too little. I didn't buy it, but I played it at a friend's house, and it became that forbidden fruit, you know, that one game that's way too violent for you. You can't play GTA, it's an incredibly violent game, it's not for you, you're way too young, and rightfully so. But I was always intrigued by it, and when I got a little bit older I was able to play the first 2 games, the one in 2D, which are pretty good in my opinion. Then I played GTA 3, which was amazing, going around the open world for the first time in 3D. And then you had San Andreas, which is great, Vice City, it has a very interesting story. And then GTA 4, which is still probably to this day my favorite one, even though you have GTA 5, which is a better game. GTA 4, I still think of it as my favorite. Also because I do believe you can be a bit more sadistic in it. You know, having the Alpha Baron people, shooting at their legs and seeing them limp around. Still, it's a very great franchise, many people love it and rightfully so, and now that I'm a bit older I'm also enjoying the stories, and they are really interesting and good stories, also very funny, which is something that I really like. At number 3 we have The Witcher. I'm a huge fan of fantasy, I've always been and I probably always will be, and The Witcher satisfies the older me. Sherlock that's over 15 years old. You like something more dark, you also like something more complex, and The Witcher satisfied me a lot. The first game was very good, and then you had the second game, which was fantastic and one of my favorite games of all time, easily my top 50 more or less. And I played it countless times, I enjoyed the different choices, and I enjoyed the mature tone, and feeling like I was treated like an adult, not like a 12-year-old with hand-holding all the way through. Then before Witcher 3 came out this year, we had the Witcher adventure game, and that's why I'm counting this as a franchise and not as a trilogy. And that's a really solid game. You have the possibility to play with other people in the room with you, instead of having to buy the tabletop game. You can just play it online or locally, and I had a lot of fun with a friend playing it multiple times. A very complex game, not easy to understand at first, but still pretty great. And then we got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is easily my top 10 favorite games of all time. Going around the huge open world, doing different quests, having multiple choices, having an amazing combat, and feeling like you have completed the arc of Geralt of Rivia. And I love those games. I also love the books, if that counts as part of the franchise. I still have to watch the television series, even though I heard that it's pretty bad. But still, I love The Witcher, and if you haven't played any of those games, please try them out. Start by number 3 in my opinion. If you like them, then you can go backwards, because otherwise you would not enjoy them. At number 2 we have Castlevania. And yes, I also like the newer Castlevania titles. The only real titles of the Castlevania franchise that I don't really like are the first 3D ones, but Lord of Shadow was a really interesting trilogy and I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though there were some really weird design choices. I had a huge fun playing them. The first 3 Castlevania games for the NES, they are classics in their own right, and I really like Castlevania 2. In my opinion, it's one of the first open world games, and going around the different levels, having to farm for art, to buy different items, it was a bit annoying, but the combat is pretty solid for being an NES game, using the whip, it's a lot of fun. Then we got Super Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo, which has the best whipping combat in video games. And then we also got on Sega Genesis Castlevania Bloodline, which is really underrated, but it has a fantastic soundtrack, and the possibility to choose between 2 different characters would play it a bit differently. It's a fun game, really underappreciated. And then we got easily the best one in the series, which is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Fantastic combat, fantastic level design, fantastic soundtrack, and really interesting story. And this is to date my favorite Metroidvania Castlevania game. And other than that, you have the ones on the Game Boy Advance, which I used to play when I was way little, and you also have the newer ones in 3D, which are also really solid, and I think it's a very great franchise. I'm a bit scared of where it will go right now with Konami, but still, I really like it. And finally, at number 1, if you are one of the 300 subscribers, or probably more if you're watching this video right now, hopefully, you will know that I love Metal Gear. Metal Gear is my favorite video game franchise. I've played every single one of those games, almost all of them to completion. Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, you're able to play them on the Persistence disc in Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and they're pretty solid for being 2D games. You also have Metal Gear Solid, which is a classic. You have Metal Gear Solid 2 with the possibility to play as Raiden. It was pretty lame at the time, but today it's a pretty interesting design choice, and it's a solid game in gameplay wise and also story wise. It's really complex, but also very contemporary to us. Then you have the perfect, near perfect Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is amazing. Then we also got Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, which was the first introduction to me in the franchise. So many people complain about it because of the control scheme, but I got used to it. As a kid, I wasn't able to keep buying games, and when I got this game, I spent a lot of time trying to understand the controls, the CQC, and it's a very solid game, and I still love playing it up sometimes on my PSP. Then we also had Metal Gear Solid 4, which has amazing cutscenes, maybe too much of them, but they're still pretty great. Then you have Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, you have Ground Zeroes, you also have Acid and Acid 2, and then finally we had Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and then some of my favorite games of all time. Revengeance being an incredible action game by Platinum, and Metal Gear Solid 5 being, in my opinion, a fitting end to the franchise, and I'm really glad that Kojima ended on a really high note. So guys, these were my 5 favorite video game franchises of all time. Tell me in the comments below your favorite franchises, maybe the ones you grew up with, maybe just your favorite ones. A lot of people love, I don't know. I was thinking of putting Max Payne on here, but since we're talking about franchises, that is only a trilogy, and that is why I'll actually put The Witcher 3 here, because there are 4 games, not 3. So It's not a trilogy, it's a franchise in my opinion. But still, tell me in the comments below your favorites. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you very much for reaching 300 subscribers, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.